Welcome. Good morning. Glad to be here for our 1 hour flow. And as like Monday, this will be a bit more of a level 1, 2 rather than an all levels flow. So just make sure to find rest as you need. Listen to your breath first. And if you have blocks, you can put those just at the top of your mat for now. And then make your way to a comfortable seat. I'll invite us to try Siddhasana today. If you haven't tried Siddhasana before, pull one heel right close to the body, sit tall on your sits bones, and then stack the opposite foot and heel right on top of that bottom heel. Tuck your top toes in between the thigh and the calf. If this feels uncomfortable, you can also slide one of your blocks under the back of your hips, or just take another seated shape. In Siddhasana, it really encourages our pelvis to roll forward, hips to roll out to the sides. As you find your seat, close the eyes, close the mouth, and start to draw air in and out through the nose. Take an inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them back and down. Find your longest spine today. As you begin to deepen your breath, visualize crown of the head reaching toward the sky and hips grounding down. In our practice today, we're continuing our theme of side obliques. And so for those that didn't take Monday's class live or on YouTube, when we talk about the abdomen, the abdominal area, we often think about what's really just the rectus abdominis, those superficial abdominal muscles that run vertically, what we might think of as a six-pack. And while that is important, in yoga, what's much more important is engaging those abdominal muscles along the sides of the rib cage. That's what helps us to find stability in plank, in our yoga push-up, anytime we move through a flow. But it's also those muscles we need to invert, find arm balances, and just in general, hold our hips steady. So that's where we're going today. If you haven't already, start to constrict the back of the throat. Begin to cultivate your Ujjayi pranayama, yogic victory breath control. With time, hearing an audible oceanic quality to the breath, in and out through the nose. Take 3 rounds of breath like this. Settle in on a pace of breath you can maintain as we build heat. One more breath cycle here. And then open the eyes, keep that breath moving. Switch the cross of your legs. If you took Siddhasana, pull the opposite heel toward the perineum. Stack the other heel and foot on top. Tuck the top toes between the thigh and calf. Or any other cross-legged seat. Just switch your legs here. And we'll begin to move on the breath. Seated cow-cats. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, press the palms toward the sky. Deep inhale for length. Exhale, hinge forward. Press the arms forward, round the back. Inhale, grow tall. Pull the rib cage in. Exhale, tuck and round, chin to chest. Take a few more like this on your breath. Just like cow-cat and tabletop, trying to only find movement through the spine. Good. Each time you inhale, maybe gaze starts to turn up here. Slow, steady breaths. The next time you inhale, hold here, reach the arms up and overhead. Good, squeeze the side bodies in, pull in behind the rib cage. One more inhale. Exhale, prana mudra. Bend the elbows, elbows at shoulder height. Imagine someone pressing your palms back, gaze turns up. Good, shoulders are activating here, squeezing shoulder blades together. One more inhale. Exhale, reach forward first and then fold, tenting up on the fingertips, hands shoulder distance apart. Here, rounding fully through the back, the neck. Strongly tuck your chin to your chest and breathe. Next, inhale, walk your hands in, sit tall. And then bend your left knee, send your left foot back to the left, right sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. So we're setting up for a twist here, nice tall seat. Bring the right hand behind the back, as close to that space between the buttocks as you can. Take an inhale, reach the left arm high. Exhale, twist right, left hand outside your right leg. Maybe tenting up on those back fingertips, hand touching your buttocks here. Or to go deeper, wrap your right arm behind the back, outside your left hip. Good, and breathe. Bodhichonasana. Each exhale, explore contracting the belly in and up, creating just a bit more space to twist. Those side oblique muscles are also the muscles that help us to deepen our twists, help us anytime we bend forward or to the side. Next, inhale, reach the arms forward and up, sit tall. Exhale, hands behind, lift the legs, switch your legs. Left sole of the foot to the inner right thigh, right knee bent, right toes pointing back. Find your tall seat, left hand behind the body, as close to the body as you can. Inhale, reach the right arm high. Exhale, twist left, right arm outside of the left leg. Gaze starts to turn back over the left shoulder. Maybe lifting up on those left fingertips, or wrap the left fingers all the way around to the outer right hip. And breathe. Bodhichonasana. Seated spinal twist named for an Indian sage. Next, inhale, reach arms forward and up. Exhale, hands behind, rock back, and then bring soles of the feet together. We'll take Bodhichonasana, but with a nice wide shape through the legs. So slide your feet forward so you have more of a diamond shape here. And then palms down, work your forearms underneath the outer edges of your shins and calves. Maybe you come down to palms, that's a great place to be. Maybe you lower all the way to forearms parallel, fingers spread wide. In this variation, we are working to draw our nose to that space between the feet. Soles of the feet opening up, shoulders pulling back and down. When you find your shape, let the back of the neck relax fully. Good. Each inhale, crown of the head lengthens forward. On the exhale, shoulders back and down, nose toward the feet. Take a few breaths here to find your edge. With time in this shape, the back starts to become more flat rather than fully rounded. Bound angle variation. One more Ujjayi breath cycle here. Next, inhale, slide your hands out, sit tall. Use your hands to draw the legs together. Setting up for Navasana, boat pose, we'll start to engage the core a bit more here. Feet and legs together, hands behind the inner thighs. Take an inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the feet 90 degrees, gaze right between the big toes. And then bring palms to heart center. Stay right here, engage the side obliques on the breath. Inhaling at center. Exhale, twist right, right elbow back. Inhale through center, Anjali Mudra. Exhale, twist left, again like this. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. One more inhale through center. And on the exhale, release the feet, drape the torso over the legs. Find your breath. Might feel a little different taking boat pose at the beginning of the practice. Just notice, slow the breath down. Good, inhale, sit back up, cross the ankles, plant down through the palms and step it all the way back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk your feet back. Find that same distance between hands and feet that you'll want for plank pose. And then take a deep bend in the knees, send the hips back, lengthen through the side bodies, press down through the palms. When you find your longest shape from head to buttocks, straighten the legs once more, energetically send heels toward the mat. Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll explore moving forward and back between plank and down dog. Each time we roll forward, focus today on squeezing the outer ribs in toward the body. From down dog, inhale forward to plank, knit the rib cage in. Good, exhale, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale forward, Balasana. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward, knit the rib cage in. Exhale, hips back, downward facing dog. This time, inhale, roll forward to plank. And on the exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, elbows to rib cage. Inhale, slide to the belly, hover palms and knees. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 2 deep breaths here. Throughout our practice today, find down dog, tabletop, or child's pose anytime you need. Whether it's a gentle yoga class or a really advanced class, always important to find rest. From down dog, inhale back to plank. Keeping hips level, squeezing the rib cage in, lower to the forearms for forearm plank. Knees can be lowered here. If knees are lifted, buttocks is below the back of the head. Fingers spread wide, gaze is soft. And breathe. We'll hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, release to the belly, untuck your toes, palms under shoulders. Modern Cobra, inhale, lift the hips, roll the shoulders back. Good, exhale, press through plank, back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 2 deep Ujjayi breaths here through the nose. Take an inhale, shift the gaze forward, come up on the toes. Come as high as you can on the toes and start to tiptoe slowly toward the backs of the wrists. See how long you can keep your palms planted. And in your own time, meet me in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Good, Uttanasana. If it's accessible, interlace the hands behind the back, straighten the arms, pull the fists up and overhead. Otherwise, you can bring the hands to the hips. Whichever arm variation you have, spread through the toes, start to shift the weight forward. Deep opening through the backs of the legs here. Always the option to bend the knees. If you have the hands interlaced, relax the face, gaze between the thighs, pull the heels of the hands together. And breathe. Keep whatever arm variation you have. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Next, inhale, slowly rise up. Head and shoulders come last. Exhale, release the arms, meeting me at the top of the mat. Tadasana, mountain pose. Check in with your feet. Choose your foot alignment here for the duration of the practice. Either big toes together, heels apart, or maybe feet hips distance apart for a little less intensity. Preparing for classical Surya Namaskar on the breath. Just as we did in our warm-up here, I invite you every time we roll forward and back through plank to think about knitting the rib cage in. Find your stable plank shape. Next, inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, reach arms forward and up. Exhale, reach forward and fold. Right foot steps back. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Engage the core. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, elbows to ribs. Inhale, slide forward, hover palms and knees. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, step up, fold forward. Inhale to rise, hips forward. Exhale, heart. Again, like this. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back. Inhale, lower left knee. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale forward, Balasana. Exhale, lower, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale forward, Bodhichonasana. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step up, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise. Exhale, heart, second round. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot back. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale forward, Balasana. Exhale, lower, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale forward, Bodhichonasana. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward, inhale. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise. Exhale, heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale forward, Balasana. Exhale, lower, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale forward, Bodhichonasana. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart. One more round. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot. Inhale. Exhale, press back. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, back. Left foot, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart. Last side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot, inhale. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Right foot, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart, and release the arms back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Check back in with your feet, toes spread wide, outer edges of the feet parallel. And then close down the eyes or take a soft gaze. 3 Ujjayi breaths here, slow it out. Notice sensation that arose through your sun salutes. Even when standing tall, those side obliques are active here, squeezing the rib cage in and up. With your next exhale, open the eyes, adding on from the top of the mat. Bend the knees, sweep the fingers down and up. Utkatasana, chair pose. And we'll hold. For full intensity, legs and feet are together. For less intensity, bring your feet hips distance apart. Either way, make sure you can see your toes in front of the knees. Turn your gaze up. Good, one more inhale here. Exhale, palms to heart center, twist to the right. You can stay upright here or work your left elbow outside your right leg. This is prep for side crow. Find your balance. We're going to be stepping back with the left foot. First, turn your gaze to the top of the mat. Press down through your right foot. When you're ready, take an inhale, step the left foot back, stay in your twist. Maybe gaze turns up to the right. That back heel stays lifted here. Parivrita, Bodhichonasana. Beautiful. And breathe. Next, inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, lizard lunge. Plant the hands inside your right foot. Back leg stays straight and strong. And then draw the right knee to the right shoulder. For less intensity, lower your left knee. Otherwise, as you press down through the palms, torso reaches forward, left heel presses back. Good, if you're warmed up enough, option to lower to the forearms, but pulling that right knee to the shoulder. You can also try blocks under the hands, lowering to the forearms, just to lift the floor a little bit here. We'll hold a few more breaths. Siddhasana. If you lowered, inhale, press back up to the palms. One more inhale here. Exhale, lower the left knee. Bring your right hand to the right leg. Flex your right toes. Start to roll to the outer edge of that right foot. Let the right hip open wide. Left palm stays firmly planting down. And then stay right here or bend the left knee. Point your left toes toward the head. Reach the right hand back. Catch your left foot. If you catch it, gaze to the right. Pull the foot toward the body. Left palm stays firmly planting down. Good, lizard lunge variation. Keep those right toes flexed and breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, frame your front foot, and step it back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward to plank, knit the rib cage in. Exhale, lower chaturanga or to the belly. Find cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold in here about 5 breaths or lower the knees to tabletop if you need. Wherever you're at, let the face soften. Feel that inner heat, but let the breath be smooth and steady. Good, and down dog, back of the neck, fully relaxed. Next, inhale, gaze forward, come on the toes and step or float to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Once more, bend the knees, sweep the fingers down and up. Utkatasana. We're moving right to the second side here. Sit those hips back, gaze turns forward and up, and breathe. Good, deep inhale here. Exhale, palms to heart center. Twist to the left. Stay upright here, or hook your right elbow outside your left leg. Left elbow pointing up, maybe gaze turns up. Check with the knees, pull that right knee back. And then shift your gaze to the floor at the top of the mat. Spread down through your left foot. When you're ready, inhale, step the right leg back, stay in your twist. Adjust as you need. Pop up on those back toes and breathe. Hips dropping toward the mat, crown of the head reaching forward. Parivrita, Bodhichonasana. Revolved side angle. Good, alignment looks great. Next, inhale, palms to heart center, just a breath. Exhale, lizard lunge. Hands inside your left foot. Draw your left knee strongly to the left shoulder. Stay lifted on those back toes, or for less intensity, you can lower the right knee. Either way, crown of the head reaching forward. Fingers spread wide, and breathe. Whether you tried on the first side or not, option to try lowering to the forearms, keeping that left knee drawing in. You can also put blocks under the forearms here, lowering halfway, just helping to lift the floor a bit. A few breaths to explore your edge on this side. If you lowered, inhale, press back up to the palms. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, lower your right knee, left hand to the left inner thigh. Start to flex your left toes, and then roll to the outer edge of the left foot. Right palm is firmly planting down. Notice any differences side to side here. If you have the space, option to bend the back knee, reach the left hand for your right foot. This will be a deep quad stretch here. If you do catch that foot, kick the foot to the hand, shift your gaze over the left shoulder, and breathe. Good, one more inhale here. Exhale, release the foot, cartwheel the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From down dog, inhale forward to plank, move through your flow, meet me back in downward facing dog. Anytime we flow, elbows tucking in toward the midline. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep inhale here. Exhale, knees wide, big toes touch, press your hips back. And then walk your hands forward, tent up on the fingertips. So we're in an active, wide-legged Balasana. Forehead to the mat, hips grounding toward the heels. Keeping your gaze low, take an inhale here. Exhale, walk your hands to the right, off your mat. Place your left palm on top of your right hand. And then draw your left armpit down. Send the weight back towards your left heel. Good, Balasana side stretch. Keep your gaze low. Inhale, walk your fingertips through center. Exhale, hands to the left, off the mat. Place right palm on top of left. And then with forehead to the mat, draw your right armpit toward the mat. Shift the weight back towards your right heel. Breathe into that opening through the right side body. Inhale, hands through center, plant the palms, press up to hands and knees, tuck your toes, meet me back in downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So we're making our way to the top of the mat, but we'll practice our float through. Before jumping, keeping in mind, anytime we want to float the feet between the hands, we really want to float by pulling knees toward the belly, engaging the core, rather than jumping. So if you'd like to try this, thinking of it like a float, take an inhale, come up on the toes. On the exhale, float, land the feet between the hands, forward fold. Nice upward, let the back of the neck release fully. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, release the hands, bring your hands to the hips. Setting up for warrior two here. We'll be stepping back with the left foot. Ground down through your right toes. With an inhale, step the left leg back, plant it at an angle, bend the right knee. Next inhale, open the arms wide, gaze to the right. Exhale here, Virabhadrasana 2. So we're working the shoulders back in space and the hips back in space. Chest rises slightly, pelvis pushes forward. And breathe. Check in that both arms are at the same height. Notice if that back arm lifted or lowered. Good, next inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach to the right, and then bend for Trikonasana. Left arm high, right arm down. Option for a block under the right fingers. And then we're imagining a wall behind the back body here. This is one of the best shapes to both contract and stretch our side obliques in yoga. So that right side strongly crunching your side body in. Left side breathing into that openness through the left hip. Maybe gaze turns up to the left thumb. For more intensity, left arm up and overhead, right arm to the right. We'll hold 2 more breaths. Plant down through the feet. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip your front palm. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse the warrior, right arm up and overhead. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, step to plank, move through your flow, elbows to rib cage. And we'll meet back in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here, smooth it out. Maybe heels get just a bit closer to the mat. Once more, option to try floating forward. If you'd like to try that, press down through the palms. Inhale up on the toes, gaze forward. Exhale, float, land on the feet, fold forward, nicely done. Neck releases fully once you fold. Inhale, half lift, Ardha. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, release. Bring the hands back to the hips. Last side. This time we'll be stepping back with the right foot for warrior 2. Plant down through your left toes. With an inhale, step the right leg back, open the hips, plant the foot at an angle. Next inhale, open the arms wide, gaze to the left. Make sure you can see your left big toe, inner edge of the left foot inside your knee. And then soften and settle. Feet are active, shoulders are relaxing down from the ears. Good, alignment looks great. Virabhadrasana 2. Next, inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, reach to the left first, then bend, left arm down, right arm high. Striving to stack your shoulders right on top of one another. Long line from right hand to left hand. Maybe gaze turns all the way up, tailbone tucking under. Stay right here or reach the right arm up and overhead. Left arm to the left like you're holding a beach ball, strengthening Trikonasana. Really squeezing everything in toward the middle of the body. Press down through your feet. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the left palm. Deep inhale here. Exhale, reverse. Left arm overhead, just a breath. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, step to plank, move through your flow. Meet me back in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. We'll take about 5 breaths here or in any shape that truly feels like a resting shape where you can smooth out the breath. Choose your shape, settle in. Once more, just notice anything that's shifted or changed since we began our practice. If you're in down dog, pressing through the palms so much you send the hips further back. Rib cage pulling in and up. Face is soft. And from down dog, one more inhale. Exhale, lower to the knees. Come to tabletop pose. And just like we did on Monday, we'll work toward our tripod headstand, Shalamba Shirshasana 3, but from tabletop, a little different than coming into it from legs wide. So to start, hips right over knees. You're welcome to watch or simply follow along with me. Hips over knees, tuck your toes. And then for a moment, lower to the forearms. Place your elbows right underneath your shoulders. Find where that spot is, and then replace your elbows with your palms. From here, walk your knees closer to the backs of your wrists. Draw your elbows in. Your elbows should be against the sides of your ribs, maybe touching the outer edges of your breasts. Crown of the head toward the mat. So maybe your crown of the head can't quite reach, that's okay. That's where your edge is today. If you get the very top of your head to the mat, press down through the palms, nice triangle from head to hands. From here with toes tucked, straighten the legs, just like coming into dolphin, start to tiptoe your toes toward the backs of your wrists. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you rest the right knee on the back of the right tricep. Maybe you rest the left knee, working knees toward the armpits. Maybe big toes touch, heels pulling toward the perineum. To go further, draw the knees to the chest, squeeze your core in, become a little egg shape here. To go further, straighten the legs up, actively drawing legs together, pressing toes and heels toward the sky. Take a few rounds of breath here, no rush, coming back in as you need. Always those exhales are what allows us to contract the core and lift the legs with balance. Good, really nice setup. If you do have legs lifted, the next step is to work on piking up and down with the legs lifted. Straighten the legs, press the hips back as you lower the toes toward the mat, legs straight. This is also a version of crunches you can try if you're feeling confident in your headstand. And if you're still inverted, begin to lower the legs. We're all moving toward child's pose. This time, legs together, toes untucked. Send the arms back, flip the palms up. This variation of Balasana allows the back to round naturally, gives the shoulders a rest. And then take a scan of your head and neck. If you feel any tension or exertion there, it meant that you maybe weren't drawing weight enough up and out of the head by pressing down through the palms. So just notice what your neck feels like. Take a full breath cycle here. You're welcome to stay if you need. Otherwise, inhale, reach the palms forward. Press back to hands and knees, find your tabletop. And then we'll just take a flow between child's pose, tabletop, and down dog. Send your knees wide, big toes touch. Take an inhale here. Exhale, press the hips toward the heels, wide-legged child's pose. Inhale, press up to hands and knees, tuck your toes. Exhale, hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, lower the knees. Exhale, wide-legged child's pose. Once more, inhale to hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog, and we'll stay right here. Option for one more flow on your breath. If you flow, really draw the elbows toward the ribs. And we'll all meet back in our last downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Beautiful, really nice shapes. From down dog, since we have our blocks today, option to try floating through to the feet from our down dog shape. If you'd like to try this, place your blocks on the top outer corners of your mat. So you're in down dog, but the arms are wide. Just as we practiced earlier, really think of this as a float rather than a jump. Press down through the palms. Take an inhale, lift the gaze, come on the toes. Exhale, float, knees toward the chest, land on the feet. Good. Try 2 or 3 more times if you like. If you caught the toes there, just keep your toes nice and flexed. And breathe. Always exhaling as you come forward. Good. One more try if you like. And then we're moving all the way to a seat on the mat. As you find your seat, legs together, and sit nice and tall. Take a moment to pull the flesh out from under your sits bones. I'll invite you not to use a blanket here today unless you're really feeling pain in the tailbone. Otherwise, buttocks firmly on the mat. Hands outside the hips, and then gaze straight forward. We'll take a Tadasana sequence here. Flex your toes toward the stomach. Maybe toes are flexed so much the heels start to lift. Shoulders drawing down and back. Take an inhale, lift the right leg, any amount. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, lower on your breath. Once more, each side. Good. Meet me through center, ground down through the legs. One more inhale. And on the exhale, release, shake it out. And then find your 2 blocks. Keep your Tadasana shape, your staff pose shape, and bring 1 block outside each hip. So your hands are in the same spot they were for staff pose. And then the height of the block will really just depend on the length of your arms and your strength. We're working on an arm balance here to lift off the ground with the hands. So whichever height you want to try to start with your blocks, plant your palms down. Blocks should be touching the outer edges of your hips here. Find a height where you can press the palms down while the buttock stays on the mat. Good. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe this is where you're at. To go further, take an inhale. On the exhale, crunch the core in, lift the legs up, and hold for 3, for 2, for 1, release. Whether the buttocks lifted or not, know that you're energetically engaging those muscles. We'll try that again. Plant the palms to the blocks. Sit tall. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, lift the legs and buttocks. Maybe they energetically lift, and we'll hold for 3, for 2, for 1, release. Nicely done. Shake that out and set your blocks aside. So if you're looking for, just drape the torso over the legs, draw your chin to your chest, give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe feel some gratitude here for the effort you've put in. And with an inhale, sit back up. Bring your hands behind the body, fingers pointed toward you. Tuck your shoulder blades together and send your legs long. This time, pointing through the toes, moving toward Bodhichonasana. As we lift the hips in a moment, really draw the soles of the feet toward the earth. Take an inhale, press down through the palms, lift the hips any amount. Exhale, release the neck back. Keep the toes pointed. We'll hold for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower to a seat. Shake it out if you need. And then make your way all the way to the back. If you did have a prop underneath, slide that aside. And as you find yourself on the back, just let the knees rest against one another. Bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Close the eyes or really soften the gaze. Take 3 long Ujjayi breaths here, slowest breaths of your practice. And at the bottom of your next exhale, take an inhale, draw the knees into the chest, lift the head and shoulders off the mat for Uttanasana. Point the toes, forehead to knees, knees to forehead. Use your exhales to contract the belly here, really tucking everything in. And breathe. Wind releasing pose. One more inhale here, chin to chest. And exhale, release. Send the soles of the feet high for happy baby. Ananda Balasana. Catching outside the feet or legs. And then you're staying in stillness or rocking left and right. For a hamstring stretch, you can straighten one or both legs. Any intuitive movement that feels good here. It's a good time in your practice to start to notice an active pause after each inhale and after each exhale. Now beginning to use that victory breath to cool down from the inside out. If you found movement, come back through center in Ananda Balasana. And take one more inhale. Exhale, release, send both legs long. We're setting up for a spinal twist here. Next, inhale, draw the right knee into the chest, hold it in with both hands, and then flex both sets of toes. Good, from here, straighten the right leg. With the left hand, catch outside the right foot, or if that's too intense, catch outside the right leg. Right arm wide, flip your right palm down. Take an inhale here. Exhale, twist up and over to the left. Send that right leg to the left. And then let your shoulder blades touch the mat. Gaze to the right hand. If this still feels too intense on that right leg, you can bend the right knee instead. Otherwise, right toes reaching out and up toward the head. And breathe. Good. Supta Matsyendrasana variation. In our spinal twists on the exhales, it's the contraction of those side obliques, those side abdominal muscles, that allows us to deepen the twist. Couple more breaths here. Next, inhale, roll to the back, send the right leg high once more. And then slowly lower right leg all the way to the mat. Maybe notice some new length through the right side. Next, inhale, draw the left knee in, hug it in with both hands, ground down through your right leg. All the toes are flexed here. And then straighten your left leg toward the sky. Use your right hand to catch outside your left foot, or if that's too intense, catch outside your leg. Send the left arm wide, flip the palm down. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, roll up and over to the right. Send your left leg to the right. Gaze to the left. Make sure both shoulder blades stay on the mat here. And again, if this is too intense, you can bend that left knee. Otherwise, keep sending the left leg out to the right and up towards your head in space. Inhaling through the nose, slight pause. Exhaling through the nose, slight pause. Couple more breaths, drawing your breath to that hamstring, feeling the openness through the back of the leg. Next, inhale, roll to the back and send both legs long. Make your way toward your Shavasana shape. If you need any other clothing or props, any last movements, you're welcome to find that here. The next few rounds of breath, we're lowering all the way to the back body. Particularly in a more vigorous flow practice, it can feel especially sweet, relaxing at this moment that we let the whole back body release to the ground. Feeling the effects of sthira, your effort, as you come into total ease, sukha. Flip the palms up if they're not already. Tuck your shoulder blades together under the back. And then send each heel a little further from the body. Create some length through the back of the legs. Lightly draw the chin to the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. When you find your longest spine today, let the body sink deeper into the ground beneath you. And start to turn off what we call dharana, that mental concentration on postures and breath control. Let your ujjayi breath go, keeping the mouth closed down. Nowhere else to be, no more effort to make. Simply allowing yourself a few minutes here in this shape of quiet and stillness. And in your own body, take a scan from head to feet, head to fingers, letting go of any last micro muscle holds you feel. Abdomen's fully relaxed, back of the throat's relaxed. When you've scanned the whole body from the inside out, keep the mouth and eyes closed. Let the breath be soft and shallow. I'll chant us into Shavasana with 3 rounds of Om, the universal sound of nature. As I chant, go inward, letting go of my voice and my cues. Loka samasta sukhinho bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a slow, deep inhale all the way to the belly, and a slow exhale up and out. Take a moment to notice any new sensations that serve you from your practice, and set aside those that don't, knowing next time you come to your mat, you'll get to begin again right as you are. As you feel ready, invite small movements to the hands and feet. And gently roll the neck back and forth, up and down. In your own time, reach the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, find length from hands to feet, and breathe. Eventually drawing both knees into the chest and rolling to the right side body. This prepares our nadi, energy channels, along the spine, a chance to bring head back above heart. When you feel ready to rise, eyes closed, press yourself to a comfortable seat. And if it feels okay, we'll close with Siddhasana as we begin, stacking one heel on top of the other, tucking the top toes in between the other thigh and calf. Whatever seat you take, let the arms release down toward the knees. And then we'll flip the palms up. First finger and thumbs come to touch. Jnana mudra. That mudra of inner discernment, self-awareness. The light within me honors and respects the light within each of you. Thank you. Mil gracias. We bow and say a word. Namaste. Whether you join live or on YouTube, glad to practice with you. And for those that didn't take Monday's class, I mentioned a couple of resources along the line of side obliques and just in general, some books if you're into yoga, yoga teaching, physical therapy, or just wanting to learn about the body. So these are both by Ray Long. He's an MD and has a lot of different yoga and writing experiences. And so if you're interested in what a certain muscle kind of looks like or what it means to engage that muscle, it's a really helpful book, very accessible. And then his other book that I really like is The Key Poses of Yoga. And these two books go well together. So say you wanted to explore down dog, what muscles are engaging, what's relaxed, what's stretching. There's lots of nice visuals. So I invite you to check those out if you like. And as always, questions, feedback are welcome in person or on YouTube or by email. Thanks so much, and I hope to practice with you soon.